9:45 a.m. Everyone in Zenith Bank froze the moment the man staggered in, clutching a wooden box and whispering, "If I drop this, we all die." No one knew his name. No one knew what was inside. But by the end of that morning, the secret in that box would decide who walked out alive, and who never left the bank again. The silence was sharp, almost violent. Phones stopped ringing. Conversations cut mid-sentence. The entire hall, the cashiers, the guards, the customers, became one body, one breath, waiting. The man's suit was ragged, as if he had slept in it for days. His face was pale, hollow, his lips cracked. Yet his grip on the box was steady, fierce, like it was the only thing keeping him alive. "Lock the doors." His voice cracked but carried like thunder. The guards hesitated. One instinctively touched his holster. The man's eyes shot to him, wild, bloodshot, burning with rage and despair. "Try it," he hissed. "Go ahead. See what happens." The guard froze. Slowly, a junior staff member slid the glass doors shut, the loud clang echoing through the hall. The customers were trapped. A woman clutched her child, whispering prayers under her breath. A young man near the counter tried to sneak out his phone, but the strangers spotted him instantly. "Put it down." His scream rattled the glass. "No calls. No police. You call anyone, you bury everyone in here." The young man dropped the phone, trembling. The manager, an aging man with shaking hands, stepped forward cautiously. His glasses slid down his nose. His lips quivered as he spoke. "Sir, please, whatever this is, we can resolve it. Just tell us what you need." The man's gaze fixed on him, cold and sharp. "What I need," he said slowly, "is the truth." Confusion spread across the hall. "Truth? What truth?" The man licked his dry lips. He glanced down at the box, almost tenderly, then back up. "For years they've lied to me," he whispered. "They think I'm a fool. But today," he shook the box slightly, and the faint sound of ticking filled the air. "Today, everybody pays for the lies." The crowd gasped. The word traveled like a shiver. Ticking. Bunk. A mother muffled her daughter's sobs with her palm. A man pressed his back against the wall, eyes darting to the exit as if calculating the risk. "Sit down," the stranger roared. "All of you. Sit down, and nobody moves unless I say so." Chairs scraped the floor. The once busy banking hall turned into a prison. The box sat at the center of it all, silent, deadly, commanding every heartbeat in the room. And though no one dared to admit it, each soul in that hall already knew, by the time the clock struck the next hour, the truth inside that box would decide there. The customers huddled together in silence. Every eye stayed fixed on the wooden box, as though staring too long might make it explode. The stranger scanned the hall, his breathing heavy, his knuckles white where they gripped the box. His gaze stopped on the manager. "You," he barked. "Stand where I can see you." The manager obeyed, trembling. "Sir, listen, if there's money you want." "Money?" The man let out a dry laugh, sharp and humorless. "Do I look like I care about your money? This isn't about cash. This is about lies. And today, the truth gets exposed." The crowd exchanged nervous glances. Nobody understood what he meant. Nobody dared ask. The ticking grew louder in their minds, even though it hadn't changed pace. A boy of about 10 whimpered. His mother rocked him gently, whispering, it's okay," though her own lips trembled. The stranger's eyes softened for a second when he saw the child, but then he snapped back, voice hard. "Everyone listen to me. Nobody plays the hero. Nobody tests me. If this box hits the ground," he raised it slightly, and the motion drew gasps from all corners. "That's the end." The guard nearest the exit shifted uneasily. Sweat rolled down his temple. His radio crackled faintly on his belt, and the sound made the stranger twitch. "Switch it off," he shouted. "Now." The guard fumbled, switched the radio off, and placed it on the floor. The man gave a slow nod. "That's better. Now sit." The guard obeyed. The hall felt like a pressure cooker. Time was crawling, every second stretched thin by the sound of the stranger's breathing and the phantom ticking no one could ignore. Then, without warning, he pointed at a young woman near the counter. "Come here." She froze. Her hands shook as she clutched her handbag. "Me?" "Yes, you." "Move." The woman rose slowly, legs trembling, and stepped forward until she stood before him. "Open your bag," he ordered. Her hands fumbled with the zipper. She opened it, showing nothing but a wallet, keys, and makeup items. He scanned it quickly, then shoved it back at her. "Go sit down." She hurried back to her spot, holding her breath as if she'd just crossed a minefield. The stranger turned to the hall again, raising his voice. "You're all wondering what's in this box. You're all thinking bomb, right?" No one replied. The silence was thick, suffocating. He smirked, shaking his head. "You'll find out soon enough. But know this," his eyes darkened, "what's in here is worse than any bomb." A wave of fear swept across the crowd. A man near the back slumped against his chair, fainting. Someone splashed water on him, reviving him just enough to groan. The stranger tilted his head, almost amused. "You think fainting saves you? No one escapes the truth." He tightened his grip on the box and paced slowly across the hall, each step echoing against the marble floor. "You've all lived in lies. Every single one of you. And today, you'll see what those lies cost." He stopped suddenly and slammed the box onto the counter. The sound cracked like a gunshot. The entire hall screamed. A guard nearly lunged forward, but the stranger's glare froze him again. "You think I won't do it?" He pressed his palm firmly against the lid. One push and it's over. The hall went deathly still. Even the faint hum of the air conditioner sounded like thunder. The man leaned close to the box, whispering words no one could catch. His lips moved rapidly as though speaking to the box itself. Some swore later they heard him say, "Don't worry. They'll know soon." Others claimed he muttered a name. But in that moment, nobody dared breathe too loud. And the truth remained locked inside the box, waiting. The hall was a graveyard of silence. The man's hand pressed hard on the box, daring anyone to move. His voice sliced through the air. "Some of you are thinking of escape. Don't. The doors are locked. The guards won't save you. And if anyone makes one wrong move, you'll learn exactly what's inside this box." A sharp sob broke from the corner. A teenager tried to bolt for the restroom. "Stop!" The man raised the box slightly off the counter, and the boy froze in mid-stride, legs shaking. "Back to your seat. Now." The boy obeyed instantly, collapsing into his mother's arms. The stranger's gaze swept the hall again. His face twisted between rage and despair. "You sit there praying it's a bluff. That's what liars do, they pray they won't be caught. But I'm not bluffing. Not today." He reached into his pocket with his free hand and pulled out a crumpled photo. He slammed it down next to the box. The people nearest him squinted, catching a glimpse of a young woman smiling in the picture. The man's voice cracked. "They said she never existed. That I made her up. But she was real. And this box," he patted it gently, almost lovingly, "is proof." A murmur rippled through the crowd. "Proof? What?" The manager swallowed hard, trying to keep his voice steady. "Sir, please, you don't have to do this. Whatever you've lost." "Lost?" The man snapped, eyes blazing. "No. This isn't loss. This is betrayal. And betrayal burns worse than any fire." The box trembled in his grip as his rage surged. "Do you know what it feels like," he hissed, "to be told your whole life is a lie? To scream the truth and have everyone call you insane? You will. All of you will." His words stabbed the silence. Nobody moved, nobody spoke. The ticking inside the box seemed louder now, pressing against their ears, against their nerves. A guard near the wall finally broke. His voice shook. "You don't have to hurt these people. Let them go. Keep me instead. Just spare the others." The man's laugh was hollow. "You still don't get it. It's not about hurting people. It's about showing them the truth they've hidden from me." He leaned down until his face hovered just inches above the box. "This box doesn't destroy by fire or explosion. It destroys by truth. And when it opens," his eyes scanned the hall, meeting every terrified face, "you'll never see the world the same again. The words chilled the air. Some clutched their heads. Others shut their eyes tight, praying the sound of ticking would stop. But it didn't. It went on. And every second that passed dragged them closer to the secret waiting inside the box. The hall ticked with silence. Every heart was a drum. Every breath felt borrowed. The man's hand hovered above the box. His voice was low, almost tender. "It's time." "Guess, Fred." Someone screamed, "Please don't." Another whispered prayers as if the end had already begun. The man closed his eyes. Then, with one sharp motion, he opened the box. Silence. Inside, nothing but an old alarm clock, wires taped around it, and a crumpled piece of paper. The crowd blinked, confused. The ticking was just the clock. No bomb. No poison. No weapon. The man laughed, a broken, empty laugh. "See? You all believed it. You believed because fear makes slaves of us all." He held up the paper. On it, scribbled in shaky handwriting, were the words, "Now you know how it feels to live with lies." The hostages stared, trembling, some angry, some crying. Relief flooded the room, but it mixed with rage. A father shouted, "You nearly killed us with fear." A mother sobbed, holding her child tight. That wasn't truth, that was torture. The guards rushed forward, tackling the man to the ground. The box slid across the floor, the harmless clock rattling inside. Pinned down, the man screamed, "You see? You finally see. The lie is deadlier than any bomb." His voice echoed even as they dragged him away. The hostages staggered out of the bank, shaken to the core. Their bodies were safe, but their minds carried scars. Because for one endless hour, they had believed death was certain. And that belief alone had been enough to break them. Fear can be more dangerous than weapons. Lies can wound deeper than bullets. A prank meant to prove a point can spiral into terror, and sometimes, the damage left behind is far worse than the danger itself. If this story shook you, tell me, where in the world are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments. And hey, don't just keep this to yourself. Hit that subscribe button and share this story right now, so others can feel it too.